Hello everyone, welcome back to EduMoon tutorial series. This is Divya, your instructor for Web Technologies. In the previous videos, I have covered all the topics of Unit 1 and in this video, I am going to discuss about a topic in Unit 2 which is Introduction to JavaScript. Now let us get started. JavaScript is a client-side scripting language used to add dynamic functionality to web pages. What is a client-side scripting language? When you use a client-side scripting language to create a web page, then its source code is going to get transferred from the server side to client side and will get executed in the client side. JavaScript, originally known as LiveScript, is a scripting language that runs inside a browser to manipulate and enhance the contents of a web page. All the major web browsers have a dedicated JavaScript engine to execute the JavaScript code. Now let us have a look at some of the uses of JavaScript. One of the main reasons of using JavaScript is to perform client-side validations. For example, you have created a form and you wanted to trigger an error when user tries to enter number instead of text in a text field, and you wanted only text to be entered in that field. And also when the user tries to submit a form without filling some of its contents. These are some kinds of validations you can set to a form, and there are many other kinds of validations you can set to a form and can be achieved by using JavaScript. JavaScript can be used to display date and time, display dialog boxes, pop-up windows, to change the appearance of HTML documents, and to create the forms that respond to user input without accessing the server. This is because the JavaScript code runs in the client environment. And also, it doesn't access the server every time the user inputs something in a form. Now, let us see how we include a JavaScript code into an HTML document. This is achieved by using script tag. It has attributes src, type, language. src attribute takes a value, URL or path to an external JavaScript file in your local system. As in CSS, you can specify a file which have a JavaScript code written in it and saved with an extension .js, and it can be included into any HTML document by using src attribute of script tag. Type attribute. It specifies the script type. It is generally set to text or JavaScript value. Language specifies the language we are going to specify by using script tag. If the language attribute is not set, then the type attribute is searched for the language we are going to use or the script type. Before going to see how we can include or where we can include a JavaScript code into an HTML document, we will just see the differences. Here are some differences between Java and JavaScript. If you have any idea about Java or how to write code in Java, you can definitely specify the differences between Java and JavaScript or understand them very easily. I suggest you take some time and look at these differences. Next, adding JavaScript into an HTML document. You can include a JavaScript code in the head section of a HTML document or body section, or using an external file which is achieved by specifying the .js file path in the source attribute of script tag. Comments. As in many other languages, you can also specify comments by using // for single line comments and /* for multi-line comments. Variable declaration. It has the syntax var variable name. In JavaScript, you do not have to specify the type of the variable while its declaration. Let us see an example. Here is the example where the title is set to variable declaration and the script type is set to text or JavaScript. And then I have given or declared three variables. The first variable num1 is set to value num23 and the second variable is set to 45, and line break is a variable set to HTML tag break. And another variable sum which has the value while adding the contents of num1 and num2. Document.write. This is a function used to display something in a HTML document. The only constraint it has is that it can only display one element at a time. So that's why first document.write specifies a plus b is equal to 2, and then in the next state document.write statement we have specified what is the value to be displayed. And then in the next statement, line break. When line break is written, it sets or writes break tag in the HTML document. As a result, the cursor goes to the next line. And then the next statement is if num1 greater than num2, then it's going to get display num1 greater than num2. And then if it is not true, then it displays num1 less than num2. Let us see the output. Here, a plus b is equal to 68, which is the addition of 23 plus 45, I think. 45, 23 plus 45. And then I have used a line break tag, and then it goes to the next line and prints num1 less than num2. Next, functions. You can also define a function in JavaScript. Its syntax is function, name, parameter 1, parameter 2 and the statements. You need to use the keyword function in order to declare or define a function. Let us see an example. Here is the example where the title of the document is functions and the type of the script is set to type equal to text or JavaScript. If you have observed carefully, I have given the script or specified the script content in the body tag in the previous example, and in this example where functions I am going to define functions, I have used the script tag in the head section. Here there are two functions, concatenate function, second function. Before going to what they perform actually, let us get into the body section where it specifies what the content will get to display in the while we open the web page. Here, the first one is H1. Click the below button to call second function is going to get displayed as a heading, and then a small button with the value call function, and on click, this is an event. When the button is clicked on, it goes to the function second function. What is in the second function? Here, it initializes or declares a variable result, and then it is set to the value concatenation of Zara Ali. These are two strings given as input to concatenate function, and then it displays the result. Again, what is the value? We'll just find out while executing the function concatenate. First, last. The first is set to Zara and the Ali is set to last. Where full is another variable declared and it is set to first plus last, which means it concatenates both Zara and Ali and then assigns it to full. It will return full. So the result is set to full and the result will be displayed as Zara Ali. Now let us see the output. See here, when I click on call function, it displays Zara Ali. In this way, functions can be defined. There are some more topics to be discussed under Introduction to JavaScript, and I will show you them as part B to Introduction to JavaScript in the next video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.